Good morning, Nigeria. Happy Friday to you wherever you are. Are you getting ready to ease into the weekend? For some people, it's going to be like some kind of premium enjoyment. For others, it's going to be from one event to another. While for some of us, it's going to be Owambe to the next. I don't even have any Owambe, but welcome to Ways Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? This is That Morning Show where we inform you, we engage you, and we keep you connected to what's happening around you. How did your week go? Did you somehow find small peace in the chaos that we have had this week? Because honestly, this week has been one kind of week. Buzzwords everywhere, news up and down, headlines flying. There's another one this morning. You know, waking up every day to wonder what is about to happen again. But in the middle of all this serious talk, we are going to be getting into something lighter, something surprisingly deep that has been popping up everywhere online. People accusing each other of copying. She stole my idea. He used my content. That design is my design. Give me credit. And it's not just influencers and content creators. Talk about, fashion designers, photographers, makeup artists, hairstylists, kids makers, business owners. Everybody is claiming originality. So this Friday morning, we want to ask the real question. Is anything still original? The line between inspiration and copying, because sometimes it's inspiration, sometimes it's coincidence, and sometimes, let's be honest, people are really copying and pasting with confidence. And we are going to get to talk about it with my beautiful lady, Oluchi Omenka. Good morning to you.
Good morning, people.
You look like somebody who is really ready for the weekend. I mean, I love your outfit. It's giving I am very ready.
I have been through a lot this week. The news alone, everything that's been happening in the Nigerian space has gotten to me to some extent, and it's been really sad. So today I said, I'm going to wear a smile on my face. When we had the meeting, the online meeting on the show with the Reverend yesterday, I love how inspiring he was. This is somebody at the very center
of what's going on.
Yet he said, you're still going to have to put a smile on your face and be hopeful. So when I said that, Reverend is hopeful, why won't I be hopeful? Honestly, that's the vibe I'm coming with this morning.
And it's really great. Like, saying the outfit you're putting on, it makes me feel like there is so much up and there's
this
so
outfit,
much
there's
to
a lot
do.
to say about it.
I'm not, honestly, because you're looking very good. I'm like, is it because it's the weekend? It's really against what I am putting on. It feels like maybe today is Wednesday.
No, your skirt still gives the flamboyant and extravaganza.
Okay. So much has happened in the country. So much is happening. I remember that I mentioned something yesterday that by the time I'm waking up the next morning, I don't even know what I'm waking up to. And guess what? I woke up to another thing again.
Yeah.
So we are going to be talking about everything. We'll go on a short break right now. When we return, we are going to be looking into what is really making headlines. We have something very spicy for you in the newspaper review. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It is time for us to dive back into the latest news and current events. If you are just joining, this is Ways Breakfast Show, and it is time for us to take a look at what is really making headlines today. We'll be scanning through the top newspaper. We have The Punch and The Daily Trust. And my dear Oluchi is going to be taking us through The Punch with her outfit.
What's with you and this outfit? Okay, let's move into The Punch. The major headline is what everybody has been talking about since yesterday. Life jail for Kanu. Southeast leaders rally for political solution. Kanu to appeal judgment. Igbo elite to meet Tinubu. How Kanu sparked courtroom chaos before life sentence. Above that, heavy ransom. Bandits demand 3 billion naira. Hey, God. God, I beg you, to free Kwara church goers. 3 billion naira.
Interesting.
Audacity.
Interesting.
Below that, alleged genocide. U.S. Congress split over Nigeria's CPC's designation. Obafemi Awolowo's grandson, Segun, dies at 62. Lagos raises 244.8 billion naira bond to fund infrastructure. Tinubu and governor celebrates Jonathan at 68. Ondo madman stabs NSCDC personnel to death. Auditor General indicts CBN over recycled 29.7 billion naira dirty banknotes. And the last story says Lagos raises, okay, I read that already, 244.8 billion naira bond to fund infrastructure. My God, the papers have come again with another update. How can bank, one thing that shocks me, I was looking through Kiki's post the other day, and she was saying that she's very afraid. Celebrities have been giving their commentaries to the insecurity and insurgency happening. She was saying that she's very afraid. That what kind of audacity would take terrorists to make a video killing someone, upload it on the internet, and nobody can trace them, nobody can find out where they, like, it's almost like, what are you going to do? Somebody was even saying that ever since Trump gave the order, made a comment about, coming to intervene and all of this, it's almost as if the whole terrorism, insurgency tripled. Like, what will you even do? So one thing that is even very scary with this whole story is that these bandits, they know they fear. They are not afraid at all. I mean, you can't tell me that they're not reading the news. You can't tell me that they're not seeing a lot of people clamor. And so, in fact, if you're a bandit, should be like, these people are on our case, so maybe we should release these people. But the audacity here is telling you we are demanding for 3 billion naira to free Kwara churchgoers.
I mean, the funny thing about this whole thing, Oluche, is the fact that I was saying something before we started the program. When I was watching the Kwara video, I said, these bandits, when you even look at their stature, their size, they are not even more than, I give an example of, Mr. Peter, and then I'm wondering that, why is it that it is really difficult to pin these people down? Now, there is even like a great effrontery asking for 3 billion naira. You cannot, I like the fact that you mentioned that these people are actually saying what is going on.
Yes.
But the fact that the confidence is rising really begs me to ask that, who is even afraid of us? And who is even fueling this confidence? Who is
fueling this confidence? I pray to God that these people be exposed, disgraced and embarrassed, because this confidence is not just, I know there's the religious incitement and everything, right? That's why there are conversations around religious intolerance.
Who are the people fueling it? Who are the people fueling it? Because a state like Kwara, this is the first time I'm hearing this kind of thing. They are still coming up to say that they want to demand. Who are the people that they're expecting to drop this money? Who are the people that are going to receive this money? Because when you take a look at these bandits, you are wondering that, do you people even really have money? So you cannot tell me that these people are coming together, or these people don't even have connected bodies. Because why is it at a time like this, we are having different things in different cities, in different states? And it feels like, why is it this time, when it even feels like, the nation, not just Nigeria, every other part of the world is really interested in what is going on. And now I'm questioning that, who even has power to even help us as a country?
My sister, there's a lot of things to look at with this story, and I'm just hoping, like I'm saying, the major prayer point for me now is that people who are fueling these people that we know, I'm just hoping that they will come out and they will be disgraced and embarrassed, and things will get back to normalcy. Well, moving on to the other story that has been buzzing. If you've been checking online, different platforms and blogs, you would have seen, the Congress discussion recently, and how it's almost like there's a split in the House. Some people are for this, because I think I saw a snippet of a congresswoman saying that it's not just Christians that are being attacked, right? Some were saying, oh, Christians have been attacked. So it was like a split in Congress during the conversation. And what I checked was the comment section. Some were like, oh yes, finally somebody is speaking the truth. Another was like, oh, people that are delusional, that do not know what's happening. And I just felt like, let me just give you details.
But Oluchi, do you know what? Whether it's Christians or not Christians, what is important or what is serious is that people are dying. whether they are Christians, whether they are not Christians, it still doesn't erase the fact that people are dying and something is happening at this period
The
that we
girls
are
that
in.
were kidnapped in Kebbi, they weren't
It
Christians.
was not like maybe they were Christians or
Many
something
of them
like that.
were Muslims as well. But let's see the stories before we head on to Nnamdi Kanu's hottest gist, because everybody wants to know what's going on. It says here, lawmakers, religious leaders, and United States Department officials and witnesses were divided in their views as the United States House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee on Africa on Thursday held an open hearing on President Donald Trump's redesignation of Nigeria as country of particular concern. You see, this particular phrase is something that every content creator is using now, and it just makes me sad that God,
and at the end
see
of
what
the
we
day,
have been reduced to.
At the end of the day, we are still the one using it to like chase clouds.
Very funny. People are, in fact, let's go on. Following the designation, the president threatened that the U.S. military would enter Nigeria guns ablazing to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. And you could go on to check more of the details about what was said, but the highlight of that conversation, the open hearing that happened at the Congress, is that there was division in the House. And you know what I even saw from all of this was, have we really, really lost what makes us a sovereign state? I know, yes, we need some people will say we need the intervention, right? But I was just looking at the whole story from another lens. Like, I left myself to look at the story. We have become so much of a concern that we are now the center of discussion by foreign people.
In another person's country Congress, we are the center of discussion.
But see, whatever needs to be done to make people live another day.
And guess what? Do you know that we are not even the center of this discussion in our own country, in our own Congress?
That's where we're heading to.
Because now it feels like we are even onto another thing that is getting discussed in somebody else's Congress. In our own Congress, we are not talking about our own matter. It is something else.
Fighting and
we are fighting, throwing everything. That one does not matter. We will not be, another person will not be talking. Now, do you know what saddens my heart really? Is how Nigerians will now be saying that other people should not talk about what is going on in our country. How will other people not talk about it when we are supposed to talk about it, we are not talking about it? Till now, how many things have you heard? How many leaders, how many political leaders, how many of our own leaders have you really heard in this situation? I have heard more about Nnamdi Kanu than what I have heard from our leaders in respect to this genocide, these killings that have been happening. This week has been a lot.
If somebody gives me the vibe of the leaders are like genocide, they happen. We've been through this for years. These people will get over it. I was even seeing Simi's post that said that it's almost. I wish I could get that post, but the way she put it out, she was saying that yes, I get the fact that content creators and anybody is coming out to speak, but these people already know that you will keep speaking, and once you are tired of speaking, it will die down. She said that many times. They are even right, because look at many other cases that we have clamored for attention. How many of them actually get to see to the next day? Different distractions up and down. I feel like they even have a pile of distractions that they keep. When there's something that is threatening their leadership,
then they push it out.
They will pick one to distract us. But let me tell them, there's nothing that is going to distract us from what is very critical. Do you know that doctors are on strike? I saw somebody that commented that people are dying. I think 2 sickle cell patients actually died. But nobody is giving them attention because it's almost like, where do you want to look to? Insecurity, healthcare,
education.
Nobody is talking about that one. Things that should have your attention. Nobody is paying attention to it. They are paying attention to other things.
Guess what? When you now find them paying attention, do you know sometimes I really want to look differently. I really want to look at things differently. I want to look at issues differently. That maybe our leaders do not even have a solution to what is going on. But you know what? Where I get like, there is really no point thinking about this, because you see the way they react to other things that concerns them. You see the way they are quick to act on things that will affect them directly. So you cannot tell me. I was making a joke that if Wike could react like that because of land, I have not seen his reaction. Have you seen any reaction from him as regards what is happening right now? But you can get,
opposition parties that
opposition
are talking,
parties
and
talking
because they are trying to just play
because
the
of election
for 2027 election. We need help, urgent help, because people are dying. Somebody, I think it's Mazi Tunde Edno, that came out to say that this time around, people that are traveling to the east for the Christmas,
stay wherever you are.
He said if you cannot afford flight, there's no point going through the road. And I'm asking, a country of this repute, the giant of Africa. We've gotten to that point where you can't even go from one place to the other on the road. I was not even asking him that, okay, you think these bandits will not even find a way? Have you not watched movies?
Where they hijack,
aircraft.
They will hijack aircraft, so they will do anything. Maybe the people that are sponsoring them don't even have that kind of funds and then that kind of security yet. Maybe that's why they've not even advanced to the aircraft.
I've watched some movies.
We will see it.
Maybe we'll start.
And then I am wondering that it is until it gets to some certain people before some people realize that some things are happening. Because I think if it were to be that some people are really affected, maybe they kidnap some of these people's children. Maybe the reaction will even be different, because I have seen, like I said, look at Wike's story that happened before, that preceded all of these incidents. Now, have you seen somebody like Wike? Have you seen him react to any of the things that have been happening after? But when it was time for you to fight over land, when it was time for you to fight at the PDP secretariat because of power, we saw you. Few hours after, we can't find you again. Till now, I still can't find him.
My sister, I'm just going to end this banter and then let you take on with the Nnamdi story. Is the fact that I think I saw on another news blog where, some governors or so, they were talking about past, kidnaps for some young students as well, and how some people were actually rescued. I was happy to see a story, a precedence of kidnapped students that have been rescued in the past, meaning that it's actually possible. I know that this might look like, oh, don't just throw hope around, but I'm going to, because that is the only option I have left here. I think it's still possible that these girls can be found if we're just intentional about looking for them, because they will still be in this area. I mean, Peter was saying, God aid, clear the bush, clear everywhere, scatter it. But of course, this goes deeper. Sometimes you just won't talk about it. Sometimes you're lost you're short of words. You want to cry. Different things are just going on. But I'm really hoping that this clamoring this time around will not be in vain. And that will just end.
It will end in the fact that we are getting these Kebbi girls, we are getting the Kwara victims.
And we're getting the bandits without reinstating them to the military, because there's a new thing now, where you see bandits after they say they are repentant.
Rehabilitation.
You reinstate them to the army.
And take them back into the community.
I know that it works, but these ones, they will pay for their
crime. Okay, let's move into the Daily Trust newspaper, and let's take a look at what is making headlines. We have another story of interest that we are going to be discussing about, and that's the screaming headline that we have on the both papers, which is Kanu gets life imprisonment after 10-year trial. We are going to be getting into that in some seconds. Above that, despite capacity of 13,625 watts, only few customers get electricity. And beside that, schoolgirls abduction. President ask a defense minister to relocate to Kebbi. Okay.
Yeah, I saw news like that too. I think he also asked is he the vice president also? You have just been sending different people to relocate. I'm like, are they the ones that?
And they should even give us updates, accountability. Let us know what is going on. All these ones that we are seeing. And below that, that I'm going to talk about is few stories in respect to insecurity in Kwara. Over 50 schools have been shut down because of the state of insecurity. And that is what you were just talking about Mazi Tunde Ednot. So we might even be, some people can't go to school again. Some people, they were not the ones that were abducted, but now some people cannot, because I cannot even trust that maybe by the time my kids are coming back to school, will I find them? And health workers strike increases patronage of private hospitals. What kind of headline is this? Let's get into the story. Kanu gets life imprisonment after 10-year trial. The story or the trial of Nnamdi Kanu is something that we have been dragging. We are going to be taking a look at a video right now so we can see. But for something that have been stretched for so long, this 10 years that we have been talking about, the judgment that has been given to Nnamdi Kanu, the court in Nigeria has actually sentenced him. They charged him guilty of terrorism and other charges. Following, all this drama that we have been talking about, and he has been given 4 life sentences along with other terms to be served concurrently. Let's watch this video.
Although I'm not really persuaded, but I must temper justice with mercy. The court is moved by Chapter 23, verse 23, of Matthew, in the book of Matthew, to the fact that who unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and has omitted the weightier matter of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. This you ought to have done, particularly, and must notice the word in Matthew 23 and verse 23, the word mercy. Our Lord himself is merciful. No matter what we do, is a merciful God. It is on that note that the court will follow this above admonition of Jesus Christ in the above passage and show mercy to the convicts. In addition, the death penalty globally is now being frowned upon by the international community. Consequently, and in the interest of justice, I hereby sentence the convicts to life imprisonment for the said counts 1, 4, 5, and 6 instead of death sentence. Life is sacred to God.
Useless black people. You don't know what justice means. You have no idea what justice means. You don't know what justice means. Useless black African people. You don't know the meaning of justice. Your constitution says you cannot try anybody unless the law is written. Show me the written law. Show me the written law. I want to know the written law. Don't touch me now. Show me the written law. Are you okay? Don't go close. Don't try that rubbish. Don't try it. Don't try it. Go ahead and say don't try that rubbish. Don't try that rubbish. Useless people. You don't know law. You don't know law. Your own constitution you don't respect. Supreme Court judgment you don't respect. Then why are we in the court of law? Why are we in the court of law, I ask? Nonsense. You think Britain can ask you to jail me and you jail me? You are dreaming. You are dreaming. I'm telling you that you are dreaming.
There is so much about Nnamdi Kanu's story to really unveil. There is so much to uncover. Let's not forget that we have been on this for a very, very long time. This is like something that has happened for almost 10 years now. And seeing that, judgment has been given to him, he has been sentenced to life imprisonment, there is still so much to open up. Like, eyebrows are being raised. There are a lot of reactions. These things are not sitting well with, the people that...
With the Eastern people and certain people in the East.
People are not accepting it. Why for some people, they feel like, okay, this is the right judgment that Nnamdi Kanu needs. And if you would ask me, honestly, when I first saw this story, I was sad. Maybe because, not directly sad, but I was like, life imprisonment is a whole lot for something that has been dragging. You would think that maybe it would eventually win the case, since it has been for a very long time. However, let's not forget, like I said, there is so much to open up, which we will not be able to do, totally. But come to think about it, let's not forget that this IPOB leader, what he was clamoring for was a separate state, which is, the eastern part. It was clamoring for a separate state that, give us this state. There's so much that I can do. And this is something that I thought about it. I said, at the end of the day, we might not really be able to get it. It might not really be able to get it. Sorry, I'm not part, but it might not really be able to get it. Because come to think about it, let's talk about the people that will be affected, that they will not even sit down to watch him get whatever he wants. And let's even talk about, is that what we even really need in the country? Let's talk about the sovereignty. A country that needs to be won. Is this what we need? If he actually gets what he wants, is that not going to trigger into some other things that we would not be able to see the end of it? Is that not going to trigger some other parts? We can compare, IPOB to things like ISWAP, like you said earlier. You talk about IPOB, you talk about ISWAP, you talk about some other things that people are coming, a faction is coming to say that, oh, I think I can do this, oh, I think I can do that. So there's so much to open up with Nnamdi Kanu. Honestly, I don't know where to start, Oluchi, if you ask me.
I don't know where to start, but when you mentioned, these terrorist groups, something just like, I would call it like a light bulb feeling. It just shows that the whole problem that we're facing with all the terrorist group, both those that are coming from the religious standpoint to the ethnic standpoint, is because of a failed government. Like, it's a failed state in that sense. That's why we're seeing all of this rising. So it's almost like the consequence of your actions. And I'm talking to the leadership at this point, right? We haven't seen the end of this Nnamdi Kanu story. And I feel like we're even igniting another kind of war that I don't think we're even ready for at this point. I was looking through commentaries. I was just nodding my head and like, oh, really? That's just the state I'm taking. I think there was one that said here from Bashir Ahmad OON. This one really shocked me because I think it should be investigated. He said this international terrorist once ordered his terrorist followers to get him 2,000 human heads of innocent Nigerians. He said this on Linda Ikeji's blog. He said, and the terrorist gang admitted that they were only able to get 30, meaning that they beheaded 30 innocent people. Yet some people still have the audacity to ask for mercy and clemency for him. Unbelievable. The truth is, people can come up with different stories. Whether or not this is true, I don't think we've seen a lot of facts to really back this up. But generally, any terrorist group, whatever their agenda is, it never ends well. It always ends with heads rolling. Whatever the agenda is, look at even the civil war, the whole Biafra thing. Whatever Ojukwu was clamoring for, it seemed okay to the Asian people. But you know how many people's head roll on the floor because of that? So the truth is, let's not. Me, I'm not really like a sect person. Oh, I'm this for this and for that. The ISWAP people and all these other terrorists will come up and tell you this is what they are coming for. And if they speak to you, you might almost think that, oh, there's one very strong reason behind this one. If you look in-depthly, the problem is a failed country, failed leadership. That's why all these sectors are sprouting up, and sometimes you can't even curtail it. You can't nip it at the bud. That'll be, how do they put that English again? Because the consequences is beyond what you can even think of. So at the end of the day, the solution all round, all the news that we've read today, from the medical story to the insurgency to the genocide to Nnamdi Kanu's, it still boils down to leadership. When leadership fails, the consequences, we cannot even begin to think of it.
But before we even, before we even like leave this Nnamdi Kanu story, let's not forget that there is so much confidence that Nnamdi Kanu, the IPOB, the old Biafra thing works with. In fact, some people believe that Nnamdi Kanu is even the answer that we need in Nigeria.
Yes, now I think it was what's his name?
That's
Cubana chief priest
is the answer.
Something.
This is the person we need in Nigeria. However, in the past 10 years, he has not been able to do whatever it is that he is supposed to do. And come to think about it, I have never really seen somebody that, come out to say that I am the one that can help Nigeria, that at the end of everything, when you give them the opportunity to actually help, when they actually help. So are we going to agree that maybe let's even look away from the division that we are going to be getting? Let's look away from the division. Let's look away from the fact that maybe if Nnamdi Kanu changes his agenda, what he's representing, and he's not saying that, okay, I want a sovereign state or I want to be different. I want to, the interesting thing about power is that power is not as easy as we say it. Power is not as, you see this thing called power play is not very easy, and I don't think it will be easy for the people in power to allow somebody else to come and take power. So the power play alone is what is causing. In fact, I can say that the power play is what led to the life imprisonment that he was eventually given. Because if you watch his court, the court hearing, everything, you would at a point he even said that he doesn't want any lawyers, that he's going to defend himself alone. If you watch the video, you could see the number of books that he was holding. This man is somebody that must have scared some people in power. And they might not have wanted. And let's even look at the fact that this is also a period that a lot is going on. Why did they do this judgment today? This week, what is going on?
In another region.
And then it gets me thinking that, is this judgment now even fair? Is this judgment really fair? Why? Why is it that this is the next thing that we are opening up? You gave him life imprisonment. You could give other bandits 20 years, 10 years imprisonment, bring them back into the society. Like I said,
you ended with like, I don't tire for this story.
like
But
I said,
honestly,
but I just hope that we because it feels like we have not seen the end of this Nnamdi Kanu thing.
we haven't to. I mean, I think southern leaders and some southeast leaders have been coming to clamor for clemency and all. Lots of people are already clamoring for it. You can't expect somebody of this caliber. I mean, it was Shore that was even saying that why are you even stressing this man? That all he does is to walk around with his Fendi.
That's what I'm saying. That look at him. That you would not even know that he's going through trials. Look at how fresh the man is looking.
But let's
Anyways,
not make light of the whole situation. I'm sure we've not seen the end of it, and we'll give you updates as it comes.
All right, so let us leave it here. We have so much more to talk about, but let us even get into our hot topic for this morning. Something to really relieve all this tension that is happening here and there. So we'll be getting into our topic when we return from this break. And our topic for this morning is anything really original. Let's check into the line between inspiration and copying. We will be right back. Please stay with us. Old became digital before screens fit into our hands. There was television, a window to new places and unforgettable stories. Today, the United Nations marks World Television Day 2025. A reminder that television is more than a device. It is a powerful force of connection, education, and peace. From the fast flickering images of the 1920s to the historic moments it has captured wars, elections, global celebrations, television has been the world's storyteller. Across Africa and here in Nigeria, television mirrors our society, amplifying our voices through news, Nollywood, debates, entertainment, and culture. Now, it travels with us, streaming on phones and digital platforms. Yet, it remains one of the most trusted sources of truth and perspectives. Today, we celebrate the journalists, creators, producers, presenters, and viewers who keep this medium alive. World Television Day, a celebration of storytelling, connection, and a screen that continues to bring the world closer. Welcome back. It is time for us to dive into our hot topic for this morning. Is anything really original? What is the line between inspiration and copying? But before we go further, before we dive into today's topic, we've had a lot to talk about, but there is still one more thing to celebrate about. Today is World Television Day, and it is something to be excited about for somebody who has seen, you have seen television evolve over the years. Even before I came into the world, I mean, television, they had the means of, seeing and all of that. But coming into the world, you have even seen television evolve. Between the way it has evolved even evolved into people's phones.
Yeah.
Like wherever you're going, you're taking television along with you. So I am glad that we are celebrating on a day like this. We get to celebrate creators. We get to celebrate
People
presenters.
yeah.
It is not easy to keep this medium alive. You
True.
get to talk about our producers, the directors, the people that are working both behind the scene. I mean, kudos, Abi. How did they tell us that pronunciation? To everybody that is working to keep this medium alive.
Honestly, I'd say looking at what we're celebrating today, it takes me back to when I was younger. I mean, I think my brothers currently, they had to struggle with their eyesight, and that's because when they were younger, they were so close to the TV. And this was literally their position. Like, I'm trying not to exaggerate so much, but it just shows that that was the mirror we had to the outside world, right? I mean, we could have an idea of what happens in Europe, what happens in India. This morning I was watching somebody play a former video of this Don't Mess with an Angel Philippine movie. Did you watch that movie, Married True? And so it was a lot of nostalgia. I'm like, oh my God, I remember when we come back from school
and then you will watch like this. I remember that then when you're watching like television and then you have the DVD, it was not like the way we have it. Yes. We had it now. Wherever you stop, you will have to start again, especially when your remote has fault. Anytime you would have to stop. Once they take the light, by the time they're restoring the lights, you have to watch it from the beginning again.
So it's beautiful. What I love about it is the evolution of it. Even though we've had the cons of it, we've had fake news fly up and down, we've had contents that are not proper, take people from morality to vices and all, but still we cannot take away the fact that television has been of great help, helping us connect with the world, even if we have not been there before. Some people have learned to speak foreign languages by just watching TV. Not necessarily being in China or in any Asian country.
Some people have picked religion. Honestly. Some people have picked a whole lot of things. Some people have picked wealth, watching TV. Yes. So it's such an interesting one. For the fun of it. There are some TV shows that you stay up late to watch. You don't care the time. Once it's 11 p.m., there is this particular TV show. So it is quite interesting. Happy World Television Day. Now let's get into our topic for this morning. Let's not forget that it is impossible not to notice how heated this debate around originality has become, especially in the creative industry. These are things that I have experienced firsthand. And funny how that, Hi and Oluchi has also experienced this particular thing.
We're talking about this behind the scenes.
But let's take a look into the fashion world. For example, Tubo, a well-known fashion designer. She has spoke out different times strongly about intellectual property. She has made the headlines when she said that nobody must copy what she does. She says if someone replicates her design, she called them outright thieves. That even when they say that, this style, it was copied, it was inspired by Tubo. She has come out to say that, see, you are still copying. You are still copying. Even if you are giving the credits, it is still infringement. Now, guess what? Some of these copy designs were actually recreation of older styles, pieces that existed decades ago, like in the 1990s, designed by Dior. I was looking at the comment section, and I was seeing that people are saying that whenever you watch the movies of this particular fashion designer that we're talking about, whenever you watch like old movies, movies of 1990s, that you see some of her styles. Now, why are you now coming out to say that people are thieves? So the question becomes, are we really talking about copying? Or are we talking about recycled inspiration? And that's the challenge, because in today's world, with social media amplifying everyone's move, creators are constantly under scrutiny. Someone posts a look, a design, or even a style, and the audience is quick to say, you copied, while others quietly borrow ideas and call it inspiration. Now, let's get into it. There are different things to look at in this thing, right? The first one is the fact that, okay, it's actually okay to say that you don't copy what I do. But in the first place, who is even the owner? Like, this originality we are talking about. Because in my mind, I believe that this originality we are talking about, you also got it from somewhere. You were inspired by something. I could be moving and be inspired by this particular thing and decide to put it as a design on something that I'm going to wear. Maybe because I'm interested in the fashion world so much. And then another person can also see this thing and come up with something else. And I can even see it. Okay, it could also happen like this. I see this. I see what you're wearing. I see something else outside. And then I put it together. Is it really original?
Deep.
Because that's what I really want to start with. You just come up to say that, are you not also a product of what you have gathered over time?
Yes.
What is the definition of this originality we are even talking about?
I've said this over time. I'm sure that you already share my point of view to this story. We've had this gist behind the scene. We might not call some names, but we see it happen. People have really played this whole originality thing overboard. And it's annoying because they make other creators, young creators, look like they don't know what they're doing. There's this quote I live by every day, and it says that, I heard it from my pastor actually. He says, man is a product of influence. Everything you do in this life, the way you talk, the way you smile, this your accents triumph, television, you learned it from somewhere. When we stand on stage and we say, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests.
You saw it from somewhere.
It's my delight. We saw it. And we are proud to say we saw it. The person that we saw it from somewhere. Do you understand? Look at how, I'm sure people like, there's this, in fact, this conversation, and when I looked at it at first, I was like, I can really relate to this. So there's that fuzz and buzz of, oh, it has to be unique, it has to be one divine thing. God just gave it to you.
And it must belong to you.
There's nothing that is solely yours. There is nothing.
People will not agree to what you are saying right now.
They can, yes, that's
they are not going to agree to what you are saying right now.
They are not the only ones. They learned that not agreeing to what I'm saying from somebody else too.
Because they feel like
definitely still agreeing with me. Because the truth is, whatever ideology you even want to take, you also learnt it That I don't agree with you.
You learnt it from
someone
somewhere.
that told you don't agree when they say this. So let us calm down. Because when I see posts like this, I've seen other people say, oh, if you copy my work, infringement. They've even tried to even say, oh, I was inspired by this. Maybe feel like if somebody mentions your name that they were inspired of this, it still
They
keeps
say they
you
outrightly
on.
call them thieves. That even if you say inspired by, and then I'm wondering that what do you
I'm
want?
sorry to see this, Tubo, or whoever have said this. I don't think you should look at it that way, because the truth is, if somebody was inspired by you and did something equally great, you should feel proud that you inspired someone to do great, not make it look like you are the only. Because
And guess what? It's
whatever
not
you
like
did,
maybe you dropped your process online. It was still the person. Do you know that the hardest, as a fashion designer, the hardest kind of thing to copy
Yes.
is what you don't know the process of it. What you
So it
don't know
still
the
takes a
process,
lot
it
of-
still takes a lot of thinking. Like you want to copy something, and then you are thinking that, how did you structure this thing? And then you ended up coming with something that actually looked really nice. I feel like, well, I don't really know. Maybe because this person is feeling like, okay, you're already making maybe some kind of sales that I am supposed to be making. And then you name it
it's
as
a
custom.
competition. It's a competition.
You hear something like custom. You hear something like custom is a custom dress. Before you know it, we put it 2.5 million naira. Custom.
6 million.
6 million. Custom.
bid. 6 million for B. Don't worry, Cham. Well, I'm still gonna buy this clothes. So let's not talk like this.
So that's just it. But let's even leave the fashion world. Let's leave you're copying my style, you're copying this. For some people, it is just inspiration. I admire you.
Yes.
I look up to
I know
you.
you do.
I want to learn from you.
It's
I
okay.
just love what you do. Please stop that.
I didn't plan to do that, but it felt so good. Like I'm inspiring you.
And then I am trying to do all this. And see, we can't take something away. If I say you inspire me, if I say I admire you, it means I have watched you.
Yeah.
I have seen what you do. Do you know that something as little as, sometimes when I talk, I feel like I am talking the way you're talking. It happens. It could be another person, maybe at home. You know, I'm doing something and I'm like, is this my particular friend that does things like this? Why am I doing it? It's an unconscious thing. It's not like it's deliberate, but then you're like, this is my friend. This is what my friend will do. This is what my boss will do. This is what my colleague will
I
do.
thought it would be this way, that people that seem to like be unique, you know, there's the general thing everyone does. But if you now notice that some people still seem to stand out in a way, the truth is that they are not the first to have done that. That proverb that says there's nothing new under the sun is the truest thing
Very
ever.
true. Clock it.
The only difference is that whatever is inspiring them is not generally what inspires the majority. That's why it will look like they are unique. I've seen some people that their fashion sense and the way they talk, the way they even act, seems to be a little bit different. Why? Because I'm judging it with the regular. But if you check it, if you go back, I like how that Tubo
They also
was
have
referenced.
mentors.
Yes. If you go back, you will find that, oh, maybe in the 90s, in the 80s, or one very random person in a secluded place that's not talked about must have inspired it. So I feel like as human beings, I think that's why God even made us social beings.
I mean, look at the video. Did you see this particular?
God made us social beings. We are meant to live on each other. Do you understand? Live through each other. Live with each other. Learn
with each other. Grow with
We're
each
not
other.
really meant to be isolated, and we can't even work in isolation. Everything we do today, we are learning it, and we'll keep learning. Do you understand? The way I'm talking today with my mannerism and the way I'm shining my eyes, I learned it. I learned it. Sometimes we learn it subconsciously. Sometimes we didn't plan to. You know, sometimes you can be inspired by someone, and it's not like you said, oh, I'm going to be talking like this person. You just find yourself doing it. Do you understand?
Now, from what you mentioned something now. We are seeing you, and then we are seeing someone else. And then, let me say that again. We are seeing you, and we are seeing, okay, maybe, let me give an example. You're making some presentation. I'm like, oh, this is something Bisola Ayola will do.
Yeah.
This is the way Bisola Ayola will talk. And imagine you now finding a situation where Bisola Ayola now landed on your video. And Bisola now started, talking about the fact that, oh, she's copying me. She's taking my name. She's taking the stage presentation, the kind of stage name that I use.
Stage name.
I'm wondering
Let's not shatter that table.
we will shatter this table because the reason why I don't want to, because you never can tell who is watching you, but I am still going to talk about it.
Yes.
Now, in this case, Bisola Ayola and you, the gap is really different. And if you climb to some certain heights, even beyond what Bisola Ayola is, let's not forget that you're also a product of a whole lot of things. Because I do something and I look at Bisola Ayola does not mean that my only inspiration or the only person that I got this from is Bisola. Now imagine that Bisola is now coming out to drag you. We have seen something like this with maybe somebody like Vicky James and one other designer that copied exactly what she did. Yeah. That she dragged them. But there's also the ones of, is my name. It belongs to me. You cannot use it. Meanwhile, it is rare. For example, maybe when I put Triumph Akimboye, that's when you find that there's no other person bearing Triumph Akimboye. But usually you find a lot of names. It's not just you. That's what I'm saying. No, that maybe you might not. I'm not even saying that it doesn't exist. I'm saying that maybe I'm trying to look for a name to use online. Okay. You know, sometimes if you're using Instagram, you might be the first person to actually use that Triumph Akimboye. But it doesn't mean that there is no other Triumph Akimboye. Mm-hmm. I remember while I was growing up, I used to say that my name is Cass. And then when I got to primary 3, I went to maybe primary 3 or primary 5, thereabouts. You know, when you get to certain classes, they will tell you to go to the younger classes. And then so there's somebody that I'm not the only one bearing Triumph in this school. I wouldn't have known. Now imagine me meeting Triumph online and start saying that, Triumph, you took it from me. But what if I even took it from you?
That's also another thing to say. Because many times it's always as if it's the small dogs that are copying from the big dogs. But let's not forget that the big dogs sometimes look to the small dogs and take some inspiration and then amplify it because they are the big dogs.
And they have bigger platforms. You have more money to refine it. But let's not forget that you're also picking it from someone else.
The truth is, I also looked at it this way. The reason why people are very heavy on don't copy me and all that is because people copy stupidly. Mm-hmm. That's the annoying thing. You see this cup, you replicate it exactly.
You turn your name to Waze. What are you saying? Breakfast.
You not even change the color. You see white, and that is a stupid copying. I think there's this quote that is escaping my head that says "copy still like a thief" or something. The truth is, there is still the uniqueness in every man, right? That's why they will tell you that fingerprints, your eyes, and everything is still different, even though we are billions in the world. So that means there's still your own spark that can make what you saw as inspiration become different. Look at all the presenters across. I'm going to use my own field. Everybody speaks with the same kind of verbiage. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. In fact, you can hear ladies and gentlemen 150 times. But you know that when I hear a Frank Edoho say ladies and gentlemen and probably somebody else, even though it's the same verbiage and we all copied ourselves, there is still different. Their vibe. There's still their personality. There's still their thing on it. That's why you cannot necessarily say, oh, they are copying each other. It still looks the same, but different. That's what many young creators are missing. I feel like you can copy someone, look at something really beautiful, and put your own mark on it. But the problem I will have is when the person that is seeing a shade of what they started start getting angry with you. Don't be angry with me.
There's no need to be angry with me.
I have put my own mark on it. You just inspired me to this level. I appreciate you. I'm going to tag you. I'm going to credit you. But I'm going to take it a top notch higher. Do you understand? Or maybe just tweak it and make it different. Look at all the skit makers today. I mean, let's even look at...
let's look at style of content. Maraji, Taoma, this man, this guy, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. The one that also has the same... One that yes, Twice. Thank you, Mr. Peter.
They all have the same kind of content. But do you know that their content is still different in many ways? Taoma and even Twice, they have a bit of similarity in the fact that they play different family characters. But you will still know that there's a Taoma mark, not because of the different faces or the different costumes, but just because their personalities still play.
And at the end of the day, they still evolved. Look at Taoma. Taoma evolved beyond the characters. You get something like Kodri. You get something like Tenny. And it is very unique. So even if you are at the starting phase, because you really need inspiration. You need to be inspired. You need inspiration. There is nothing wrong in being inspired. In my own opinion, there is nothing wrong in being inspired. That's why I'm not...
If you're not inspired, we should question what you are doing.
Why you are not inspired? If you take something to ChatGPT prompt, it was inspired by what some other people have done. And that is what is going to give back to you. However, let's not also forget that some people... Let's not take away the fact that some people feel very insecure. this person will rise up to me. This name, do you know how I got it? This name, I already registered it with CAC. You hear things like that I already registered this name with Corporate Affairs Commission. So why do you think you can come and take my name?
Well, that name thing, I don't think you should take someone's name.
But I really do not expect any creator, any influencer, anybody that is like, you're already an ensample in the field, in the industry that you're in. There is nothing you want to do. The people that will admire you, the people that want to, you will even meet people that they want to look exactly like you. It takes you to say that you don't have to look exactly like me.
Yeah.
And they're just doing it from a place of a pure heart.
Even if they look exactly like, they can change it with the color.
They can change it. Something is just different.
They'll put red. And they've been inspired, but they've made it their own.
They have changed it in a way. Because even you're a product of something.
Yes.
You're a product of something. So at the end of the day, one last thing that I really want us to look at before we call it a wrap, talk about all this credit. Giving credit. I give credit to this particular person. I give credit to another person. And this person is not even wanting you to be giving credit. Now, are we saying that once people give the credit, it is now original to them? Because it is easy for you to say that, ladies and gentlemen, for example, and because I have given credit, it solely belongs to me. Let's not forget that infringement is actually real. I can sue you for certain things.
Yes.
Especially when I am the owner of that thing.
Can sue you too.
Especially when I'm the owner of that thing.
Yeah.
You might not be the owner, but because you actually did the right thing. Some people don't follow the right process.
Yes.
It's your name. It's not registered. It's your name. You are not the owner of it.
Now who register first?
Register first. Just like if I trade, what's that thing that they used to do? Trademark on Instagram, that blue tick. You get yourself, if I do it first, verify. If I get verified first, that makes it like, I'm the owner. Whether you've been doing it before or not doing it. So at what point is this credit thing becomes like your own original thing?
So one thing with credit is that sometimes I think the big dogs don't like the idea of it is because many are sycophants. Do you get it? A lot of ass lickers, pardon my language this morning, exist on this social media platform. So sometimes it's not even because I really want to credit you, but I want to form some kind of affiliation. That they will know, is she connected with him? Are they together? And I think maybe they themselves try to extract themselves from that whole messy situation. So that's why some people don't even want you to credit me from beginning. Don't take it, don't take it. Go and find your own. But I think reasonably too, it is important to credit people. It's important to let people know that, you inspired me to do this. Because if you look at it deeply, if I have worked hard to do something, you just go and regurgitate and put it out.
I will feel somehow about it.
I did not put my name and tag. I'm not seeing tag. I will go. I've checked some pages these days. People are becoming very harsh. So if they notice that you have not tagged them for something, they will say inspired by. They will put it there because it's a lot of hard work to do anything that is great. So it's a mixture of different things. But I'll end on this note. I know what ending. Man is a product of influence. Nobody is one unique style anywhere. We are,
and the same God that inspired me is the same God that will inspire you.
And many times it's the same ideas that are flowing everywhere.
It might just be different years. Your own might be 9 years ago. My own might be coming this year.
And this proverb that I love a lot. I know I've been quoting proverbs these days. The sky is big enough for everybody to fly. So
all right.
Don't think that you will not still flourish in that space. Everybody will flourish together.
So whether you are borrowing, remixing, or trailblazing something entirely new, remember to give the credit, the respect to the craft, and stay true to your own voice. Because at the end of the day, the most original thing you can do is to be yourself and get your own originality out of yourself. And that is it for Waist Breakfast. Thank you for deciding to spend your morning with us. Do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow us everywhere. Do have a good day. Bye for now.